the world's venue as well as we head into the champion select of this second game on this best of 3. LNG remaining on the blue side with IG opting into the red side yet again. The bans are off the table. LNG have picked up Aatrox for Flandre? Question mark again.
Ning's 1v9 on Camille feels like not that long ago, but now that champion no longer a jungler, so maybe we will see something else, whether that's the Jarvan now that the Sejuani counter's been taken off the board, or even the Lee Sin.
I mean, we were talking about the aggressive junglers that Ning is known for, and Lee Sin doesn't get much more aggressive than that. Amazing duelist, even arguably better than Jarvan, and a lot more consistent in terms of his mobility. Now, LNG still have a few options to go for, Jarvan being one of them, but Sejuani went so well for SFN that I doubt that they're going to move away from that playstyle. However, they lock in the Akali as well instead of the Irelia.
Now, the Akali pickup is interesting to me because this has been something that's been banned out consistently against LNG, and when it's not been banned out, they actually took the Aurelia last time around, but this time saying, look, that was still a nightmarish lane for the Aurelia to be in. You saw that Rookie, when piloting that Nico, did manage to eke out like a 24-25 odd CS lead for himself around that 6-7 minute mark.
Wait a minute, is this going to be a Yuumi Nico bot lane?
That could very well be a Yuumi Nico bot lane, and Nico is so squishy that you have to ban out that Aftershock Lux, because Lux Varus is pretty much unbeatable in the bottom lane, even when facing down the likes of your Sivir Yuumi. Now, Sivir should be a point of contention for this LNG lineup. I'd say just get rid of it entirely, not only because it was an issue with the spell shield, but because it pairs so beautifully alongside this Yuumi. But also Nico's on the same team.
It's on the table, but it's not set in stone yet. But it's a very likely possibility that we're going to see Jackie pick up the Nico towards the bot side of the map. Cannon has been blown away from the top lane, so this probably indicates that it's going to be Aatrox top. He does not like the mobile champion, doesn't like the ranged poke, but they have one more ban to go through. Jace has already been taken out of the board. Vladimir is still open, but it's Sivir banned out from Jackie.
Yeah, definitely. That is the free lane is Sivir Yuumi. They're pretty much unbeatable right now. Your usual answer is the Xayah Rakan, and that's why IG had to ban the Rakan themselves, because Xayah Rakan a lot of early game influence and a lot of kill pressure compared to other conventional bot lanes, and therefore this time around saying, look, we have to get rid of it. Kaisar is actually available right now, but we could see the Nautilus. Now, actually, Kaisar Galio still available as a bot lane pickup for LNG here if this is locked in.
So this Nautilus is likely going into Rookie's hand. I would have to imagine. There's a lot of flexibility still on IG's composition so far, and it raises so many questions over at LNG. What do they want to put up against the Nautilus? Do they want the Aatrox? Do they want the Akali? One of them has to go, because Azura is hovering over the Kaisar into the bot lane.
Kaisar Galio is the lane to beat here, and I'd say that LNG Dwan is definitely a proficient Galio player, so they have options in that regard. Kaisar Galio will easily shove in Yuumi, regardless of whether or not she's paired with the Ezreal or the Lucian, or even the Draven, perhaps. And therefore, if you get the Kaisar Galio for yourself, it just means you have so many more options to reinforce, to back up SOFM on these Rek'Sai invades. But no Galio, it is going to be that dive pressure and early game control offered by the Alistar.
So the Lucian is going to be the last pick. He's going to the AD carry role, which means that the Shy is going to pick up the Nico into the top lane. Rookie playing Nautilus mid. Nico Lucian, and interestingly enough, I like the Alistar pick into the Nautilus, because it completely denies part of his engage. You can get the dredge line, sure, but that's all there's going to be it for that Nautilus.
As well as that, the Alistar does have a very, very great matchup into the Yuumi, simply because you can continually aggress on her and go for these crazy invades, crazy dives, however you want to use the Alistar. You saw in the previous game how Dwan did not hesitate to pull the trigger on this Bard. It was largely his play that shut out Ning initially, and well, Alistar's one hell of a lot more meta than Bard, so we could see just a lot more rewarding roams and aggressive plays.
Absolutely. And again, unlike Bard, Alistar is an innate playmaker, even though it's not as impressive as the Bard pick. I mean, Bard was unexpectedly fun to watch. Alistar a lot more consistent. Now I'm curious to see what this Aatrox is going to do in the mid lane in the hands of Flex. We saw what Plex can do with the Irelia, but with the Aatrox in this early to mid game against Nautilus, it's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Plex playing flex, as it were. But yeah, basically, again, we're seeing teams, well, we saw it last game, where you absolutely cannot afford to have the Aatrox in the same lane as the Nico. This time around, facing down that Nautilus mid that we saw piloted by Doinby in our first game of the day. But now it's going to be in Rookie's hands, and, well, Nautilus certainly pretty threatening. Throwback to last split, actually, where we saw Flandre pilot a different Akali, where she was nowhere near as nerfed as she is now. But you saw how confident he was in his flanks, in his smoke screens, just chilling towards the back of fights before he starts to dance around. And he's confident at holding the attention of multiple members, which should enable the Kaisar from Azura to just do work across the board. You being silent for the cheers?
Yes, I was being silent for the cheers. The crowd is going wild for both of these teams. We're LN. Oh, thank you, Opal. We're LNG.
I know you too well, AC. He doesn't.
We're LNG on the blue side yet again with Invictus Gaming on the red side. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, Vision has been introduced in both sides of the map. A defensive ward from LNG on the red buff, which probably indicates that SFM is going to want to start in the blue buff.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that this AP Nautilus does offer a distinct amount of peel alongside his assassination potential, because if you have the double assassin threat of the Akali and Rek'Sai facing you down, even with the Yuumi on your back, you are one very dead Lucian unless things do go to plan.
No. I think starting on the red buff. Actually, SF... Weird ward. Okay, I guess they had a little bit of a miscommunication there. They placed a ward to try and scout for a potential invade, but it didn't happen, so SFM still started red buff. Very interesting, going for the full clear in the bot side, going for the Krugs now, and trying to get the level 3 on that bot side alone. Well, Plex in mid lane, facing off against Rookie, not going to go for huge engages in the early game, probably just trying to get some trades, shred off his mana pool, and avoid major contention there.
So that ward was pretty much because they wanted to start topside with the Rek'Sai and then look for an early gank bottom lane to take advantage of the relatively weak early game of the Yuumi. But they knew that Ning was starting topside, and therefore they wanted to just get the Rek'Sai on the opposite end of the map to the Lee Sin, because Lee Sin is one of these few junglers that can actually duel the Rek'Sai early on.
Yeah, especially considering that Rek'Sai does not have.
What is this damage from the Yuumi?
Oh yeah, no, that's the Prowling Projectiles post buffs, I believe. Or was it post this match? I don't know, but Rookie's getting ganked in the mid lane with a level 3 gank from SFM, granting first blood over to LNG yet again.
And now, again, it's the Aatrox, this time in someone else's hands. It's Plex, the carry, the Aurelia player from last game, but the Aatrox, again, not with Flandre this time around, but Plex has a kill in his pocket, has that early lead, and is more than confident in his play.
And those Prowling Projectiles are scary. So much damage on a level 2 Yuumi. Yes, she is probably... I'm not going to contest that argument, but she's probably one of the champions that has the least amount of HP in League of Legends. I know she hits 700 HP at level 6.
Okay, so look at this. Rookie is just mindlessly pushing because that's what AP Nautilus does. You have to shove the wave to get your jungler priority, but where is your jungler? Your jungler is doing blue buff. Why are you so cavalier as to just shove mindlessly? It's not the type of disciplined, controlled play we've come to expect from our world champion. And Rookie, 8 months ago, considered to be the single best player in the world, as you do have a return guy.
Not again. A return guy, but this time Ning is there for the 2v2 Rookie already with everything on cooldown. He has the Riptide, but SFM, he knows something is out there. He's not going to go for that brush.
Tremor Sense came through as Ning did a slight step to the side there. It did give away the position, so no overcommitment. And actually, Flash remaining intact there for IG mid laners. You do have Ning looping around here. Oh, Plex!
Flash is available from Plex. He flashes out, but Ning still collects the kill with his Sonic Wave.
SFM could be in trouble, actually, or not, as the case may be. Just going to collect some of these here. Does have teleport in Plex's pocket, so we can just come through, pick up a little bit more. And Asura not really having the best of times here, but that's to be expected. The heavy poke and harass potential of an early game focused lane like Yuumi Lucian. Yes, they're both incredibly squishy, but they're also both incredibly damaging.
Absolutely, and historically, Lucian has always been the lane builder you expect him to be. With Yumi, it's just going to get emphasized. Let's see how he scales into the mid/late game, where Azura is going to be a real threat. As we take a look at the replay here on how Plex got caught off guard.
The dredge line was pretty cute here. It waited out for the Aatrox dash, and then yeah, just really good mechanical prowess from Ning there. Yes, his pathing has left a lot to be desired today, but his mechanics are still pretty damn crisp. You saw that Sonic Wave Resonating Strike come through, as you do have him looping around the top side.
SFM going for the
SFM on the other
freebie.
side of the
Through
map.
the bot lane, what a huge pulverize, knocking up both Jackie Love and Lucas.
Oh!
Now Lucas detaches from his AD carry, leaving him to die. He's a very squishy kitty cat. Someone call Peter because that's a flash knocker from SFM, giving over Asura the kill.
This is like the reverse Tom Kench players. Flandre did drop on the top side, but just looking at the bot side, you can get a 2-for-1 value stun if you stun the AD carry while he has the Yuumi attached to him. Both members of IG's bot lane locked up there. If you have a replay of what happened top, this is the good early mechanics from Ning coming through. As soon as that snare comes through, the Q into one very dead Akali.
That's a lot of damage.
That is one hell of a lot of damage. This rookie may be getting a bit overzealous with his desire to knock down this first turret plate.
Look, man, you said it yourself. All that Nautilus does is push, push, push. He's sitting under the tower. I mean, it's indistinguishable which is Plex's tower at this point in time, because Rookie is definitely hogging that tower. He wants to perma push it. He wants to force Plex to farm under his structure, because it's not inherently easy without his class of permanently on, but still.
There's something you don't see every day. Yuumi roaming to go ward without anyone nearby. That is basically a free kill if someone found her, but Lucas saying, look, we know their jungler's topside, so I can afford to go for this. But SOFM is 6, actually, and there's Tremor Sense ticking across the board. Dwan is still in this mid lane push.
We saw this last game, the 3v2 in the mid lane where Nick comes in, but this time he's not playing Jarvan. He just war jumps over the wall. No harm done.
A dive, but the flash was still intact for Rookie. Plus, the Depth Child ultimate could have been used defensively, and it could have been a turnaround. No 6 for Dwan on this Alistar means there was no dive potential with the Unbreakable Will. So still, net advantage for IG there. Just a couple of arguably free time to breathe for the rest of their composition. Just looking at the items across the board as well. Stormrazor going to be that rush for Azura, as we do have Ning rushing towards the top side, Dragon's Rage available.
Flandre is not a happy Akali as he's met with Ning yet again. Perfect execution, gets kicked off, but a huge flash dodges over the Sonic Wave.
Perfect execution of the Akali mechanics there to escape from that gank, but Flandre still feeling the force here. Not only getting dove, not only getting ganked repetitively, but also falling behind on CS thanks to this Nico early game harass. SFM Dragon.
It's a dragon. I mean, it's a free dragon. They just spotted Ning in the top lane, which means that he's not going to have any priority over this objective. Bot lane is pushed in, so no chance that Jackie Love and Lucas can interfere in this dragon execution. SFM is going to lose a little bit of HP, but it doesn't matter. He's a Rek'Sai.
Yep, Rek'Sai so good at these early duels, so good at these early objective controls. Did narrowly miss the smite, but it doesn't amount to anything. Just look at that river vision. You saw when Dwan left bot lane to go roam towards mid, Asura moved to secure that scuttle crab for the rest of his team because he knew that IG couldn't come up while they had no vision in case they face checked into the Alistar themselves. So this was just a team effort that snowballed off of that relatively unsuccessful mid play. For LNG, they transitioned it into bot side river control, into an early Mountain Drake, and a pre-14-minute Mountain Drake is actually fairly important because it means you're taking those turret plates even more efficiently.
Absolutely, and it also opens up the possibility of a second Mountain Dragon. Oh, there's a Colleen coming through. Jackie Love dishing out a lot of damage on Duan. But no harm done.
Duan is actually my favorite support of the entire league now, simply because I've never seen any support so dedicated to rushing mobility boots in every single game for like 2 seasons now.
I mean, he had the money for it. He picked up a kill on the gank, but now we do have Flandre going straight for the shy. Pop Blossom takes a nice chunk of damage. The Q does the rest and forces Flandre back into the safety of his Twilight Shroud.
Yeah, and again, just want to touch on the fact that we have this Stormrazor rush coming through from Azura. So it's basically a glorified stat stick. Yes, it gives the Kaisar the upgrades on both her Q and E once she gets the Rage Blade alongside it, but it does mean that there's not too much value being gained from a one-item power spike relative to the Lucian's, who's gonna be building towards that Blade of the Rune
Duan.
King relatively soon. This Lucian Yumi lane is actually already out of their early game power spike, and therefore it does mean that LNG just have onus across that bot side, and it lets Duan go for whatever roams he wants, like this one.
IG knows that Duan is top lane, but that doesn't stop him from going in. The Infernal Chains pull Rookie back, and that's going to be an easy kill for LNG to pick up on Rookie.
Lucas is here, but Yumi no boots, just gonna float her way towards Lee Sin. Served to be little more than a ward there. Literally just a ward hop, target for this Lee Sin, as Ning and the Shy actually looking to make this Rift Herald a point of contention.
Oh, the Shy is going to get collapsed by SFM. Pop Blossom goes through again. Flandre dodges most of that damage as Duan takes the brunt of it. Ning is put the flash over the wall as he gets eaten up by the Void Rush. It's a 2-for-0 for LNG, and they even take the Herald with them.
Ning, having skirt around, could not fully commit onto that skirmish with SFM there. Had to be aware that the rest of LNG needed disruption, otherwise that Rift Herald would go over to them. In the end, it didn't amount to anything, though, as he is eaten up, as you said, by this Rek'Sai, the Void Hunter herself, just completely slashing through this health bar of our world champion jungler. And look at how clean those chains were. Rookie absolutely not feeling great about that one. As you have that IG attempted collapse onto that, but, well, we said the Mountain Drake pre-40 minutes was fairly important, but so is the Rift Herald. So much gold going by way of Flandre, doing such a good job at compensating for not only that early death, but also that early CS deficit that this Akali naturally found herself in.
Rookie's still not afraid to look for the fights. Gets eaten up by the Infernal Chains, but walks out of the cube. While Asura and Duan finally reunited again, Asura was kind of feeling lonely down in the bot lane without his support, but he's farming up. He's in a deficit of CS compared to Jacula, but he has a kill to his name.
Actually, thinking again, stressing the power spikes, despite the fact it seemed like LNG were really far ahead. Look at the items. You have the GLP already completed for the Shy relative to the components of the Gunblade for Flandre, and you have the Blade of the Rune King completed for Jackie Love across from Azura's components of the Stormrazor. So it's actually not a terrible position for this Invictus gaming lineup to be in right now if they want to continue to pressure around the kind of fights that Ning has been taking for them.
And I mean, Ning is moving around the map pretty well, but the problem with this is that LNG are moving around just as well. They're responding accordingly, and we're talking about a champion that can move around the map so well, being matched by LNG. I mean, part of me wants to think that it has to do with Duan's early purchase of the mobility boots, because look at him. He has, if my maths don't fail me, he has 80% kill participation 12 minutes in.
Yeah, and that is pretty gross. Well, 66%. But yeah, you're nearly there. It's alright. Yeah, don't worry. Maths is not everyone's strong point, as you do have a decent pickup on the Scuttlecrab there, coming through from the bot lane of IG, nearly taking it away with the Void Seeker from this Kaisar of Azura. But yeah, just securing vision around that next dragon, as it will start to spawn pretty soon, but this turret dive may materialize even sooner.
Uh-oh. Flandre not being left any room to breathe, much like what LNG did to the Shy last game, but the difference is Flandre is actually surviving these ganks.
And now Rookie may have something else to say about that. The Twilight Shroud's still down from Flandre.
There's a depth charge. Flandre flashes out of it, but he still gets dredge lined under the tower. Perfect execution, dodges the Sonic Wave. And another dragon befalls in favor of LNG while they're taking over the map. Bottom lane tower is collapsing to the wrath of Duan and Asura. SFN joins for the first blood, but just like last game, IG take it away from LNG.
Flandre playing absolutely beautifully there. We've seen so much stuff from this guy over his career, but recently we had our doubts about what he can do. But here, a phenomenal example of how to absorb pressure without giving too much over. Back at MSI, it was Team Liquid's Impact that did something similar. However you want to look at it, if you can have 3 members of the enemy team commit top lane and not lose your top laner while you gain a dragon and a turret across the map, that is a win condition in and of itself, and it goes to accelerate just the kind of game state that we saw from LNG in the previous game.
And even though their advantage isn't as accentuated as it was last game, it is still a considerable 3,000 gold lead over, or 2,500 gold lead over Invictus Gaming.
Really phenomenal play coming through from LNG.
Oh, turret break! Wait, turret break grabs. Look at that.
Yep, turret plating did collapse as you do have a couple of teleports being dictated towards this mid lane from IG, trying to hold off on this eventual siege that you have to think is inevitable at this point because LNG not afraid to continue to push with their lead here, and they do have the Alistar Unbreakable Will available just to continue to, help them hammer home some of these more aggressive dives.
Yeah, and LNG, blue side LNG, at least super aggressive with their vision control. They're not afraid to hop into the enemy jungle, especially considering that you have a Rek'Sai on SFM, super mobile, coming in and out of the jungle, introducing vision, knowing exactly what IG are doing, knowing exactly where Ning is, not really allowing him to be a dominant
Feisty one.
force. Oh, Ning immediately gets headbutted back.
Yeah, that is pretty much par for the course at this point. This Alistair, look, he didn't even take that much damage from the relatively fed Lee Sin. I say relatively, he is the most fed member of his team, but still, of course, not the insane carry performance that you'd kind of want to if you were at least in the early game. Still, though, as we've said, Duan just massively tanky on this Alistair, has Moby boots, so happy to roam between each and every lane, continuing to push the aggressive vision line that we've come to associate with this LNG lineup.
It's up to Azura and Duan to really defend this mid lane tower. Plates are no longer here, but the 4-man dive is gonna, or could potentially happen here, but LNG immediately respond. They're under vision, though. So IG are definitely collapsing. They find SFM. He has nowhere to go but back to base as Ning picks up that easy kill. Great vision control from IG. Got him a pick, and now they're focusing the mid lane tower.
Yeah, this is not the previous game where everyone on LNG had the sweeper trinket in pocket. So, yeah, series of unfortunate events there. As you do have a bit of an overextension from SOFM. He gets punished, he gets caught out, and as a result of that, IG are able to siege towards this middle lane.
And the mid lane tower has collapsed in favor of IG. That's 2 tower for 2 tower, but Flandre is solo pushing the top lane. No one to really interfere with his CS input. Now we have Ning collapsing up top. The Shy following close behind him, but Flandre is long gone now.
Could we see this go to 3 games after that play? I have no idea, honestly, because, LNG, they're used to playing this push-pull game. They can take it back in an instant like you saw it previously. And now, while we close towards those massive item spikes, there was a small advantage for IG just because theirs were cheaper. But right now, you have the Gunblade in pocket for Akali, for Flandre. And as well as that, the Black Cleavers are really starting to come through from this mid-jungle threat of Plex and SOFM.
Plex not having as good of a game as Flandre did, but he's still pulling his weight. He's keeping up in CS. Actually, amazingly enough, Rookie is ahead in CS against in the direct matchup against Plex, but it's not much. He's not ways too far ahead. IG starting to control over the bot side of the map. They want to contest the second Ocean Dragon. They need that extra sustain. Wait a minute. There's a kitty cat. Lucas scuttles away looking for a teammate to attach to.
Rookie.
But what LNG find is actually Rookie. He's knocked knocked back, and the Shy teleports in. He can cancel that teleport. Pop Blossom deals a nice amount of damage to Plex, but the Shy is running tail. They found the right target, and Plex collects the life of the Shy.
The Shy teleports in, but cannot flash out because he needs it for the next team fight. If something does erupt, you need that flash. Nico, backline access with the Pop Blossom, and it was, really beautifully played by LNG there. LNG looking to be in full control of that, and once the Alistair really starts to dive on you, it's going to be even more precarious. Something I wanted to mention regarding items, we'll have to wait as we do have a prolonged fight again occurring here.
Yeah, but SFM
Teleport from Rookie.
Teleport from Rookie coming in might be a little bit too edgy here. Sur is in the mid lane, but he's accompanied by all 4 members of his team. LNG's looking for a bit of vision clear out around the mid lane. They want to secure this tower finally after securing a little bit more gold after resetting even. Second Ocean Dragon. They're going to collapse on that objective before going to the mid lane.
Solid rotation here from LNG, continuing to push their lead, and I just wanted to note the fact they do have 4 sweepers in inventory yet again now, so it just goes to show how dedicated they are.
Wait, Rookie flashes in, gets a dredge line down on Plex. Azura, however, takes down the question with the Pop Blossom, pops the life of Duan, and 2 kills for 1 so far in favor of Invictus Gaming, but LNG are biting back. Rookie's alone in the front line. The Shy, no more damage to be dealt as SFM picks up the double kill. Plex on the World Ender, locks down the Shy. He walks away from the Infernal Chains. SFM finds the right target, goes in with the Void Rush, has tunnels all around his map, but I think that's going to cut it for now. Azura Might be looking for the Brace Seeker.
may
Not going to
find
find
the
him. Plex!
The
Oh,
Shy
what
may
are you
find Plex.
doing? He's going to get slowed over and over again. But look at the damage from Plex and Asura turning it around.
Absolutely fearless from our mid laners today, but especially Plex just turning that on its head. Asura doing so much work on the backline as well. And look how this fight started. It was an aggressive flash forward into the dredge line from Rookie. They wanted Plex. They saw him. They saw the Aatrox. And they almost locked him down enough. But Ning did not really do much at all. But this Pop Blossom looked like it was beautiful. It even managed to stun Flandre over the wall. But it felt like an overcommitment because when Flandre was already pretty much out of that fight, but Jackie Love flashed over to clean up an Akali that otherwise wasn't really contributing much to the fight. And because of that, Lucian not only didn't DPS the backline of LNG, but he got isolated, he got knocked down, and then it was just clean up control from that point onwards. Of course, when Lucian dies, the Yumi comes out of him as well. So, yeah, IG, interesting way to play a fight that looked like a sure win for them.
LNG biting back, but they're not getting real objectives. They got the Ocean Drag, but they're not getting tower objectives from these skirmishes. They're cutting it way too close to consider a potential push.
So, you know how I was touching on item power? Now we have 2 items completed for Asura in the Rage Blade and the Storm Razor, meaning Kai'Sa has upgraded Q and E, and as well as that, the Zeeks is in pocket for Dwan. So this is one incredibly threatening Kai'Sa now that the next fight will, you know, hopefully break out relatively soon.
What would be the next? I mean, okay, no, Night's Fast probably going to be the next big item for Dwan to complete. As the LNG squad are setting up another split push, they have Akali, Flandre on the bot lane. You have Plex on the top lane as well. Baron Nashor is live, but IG have Scuttlecrab control for now.
IG do have Scuttlecrab control, and they also have a solid amount of area control thanks to the way the Nico build does work. You do have the Twin Shadows being used on cooldown now just to scout out, and it does mean that IG are moving as a cohesive unit towards this top lane, but what can they get? They think there's someone's in that bush, but there's no one in that bush.
No,
Plex teleported out.
Which means that Jackie Love and Lucas are completely isolated away from this mid lane tower. They gambled to try to get a pick. They failed, and now they're paying the price with the mid lane structure.
Rookie's isolated. Rookie is isolated.
Oh, okay, yes, isolated. He's being knocked up, back, left, right, and center. He tries to get away, but it's too little too late. SFM picks up the kill. The Baron Nashor is a very valid possibility, but LNG have other ideas.
Rookie is their frontline. Rookie is their CC. Everything about this Nautilus being removed here does open so many more options by way of, if you want a tower dive, there's still the Unbreakable Will available. No Hex Flash quite yet, but there's still a chance.
There's the Hex Flash. Actually. Oh my god, what are IG doing? They had vision over Duwan. They get caught off yet again. The Pop Blossom barely does anything. The Shy goes down alongside Jackie Love, and only Ning and Lucas are left to look at their mid lane crumble to the wrath of LNG.
Void Seeker came through from Asura, and you could tell that he was like tempted to just touch that Kai'Sa, dive forward, chase down Ning and Lucas, but in the end decided to play the disciplined play. And this is the kind of discipline we're not seeing from IG there. They're getting greedy, they're overextending. And you said it yourself, they saw the Alistair coming, they saw the Hex Flash threat. Unbreakable Will is available. Look at this.
Even went in on him.
A 3-man knock. Look. Jackie Love is just culling in place. Where is the relentless pursuit? Where is the E out? What are you doing, IG?
Well, I mean, the weirdest part is that they all aligned near the Alistar. It's like, okay, we accept our fate. Take us home, daddy. So he head flashes over the wall and gets the play rolling for LNG. 2 towers in the mid lane for Li Ning Gaming. And now they just have the map on their hands. Jackie Love is the next one in line. Saddle up, big boy. You're going to get knocked up by SFM. IG seem completely out of the game at this point.
This is the vision control of the 4 sweeper comp 3, because Flandre swaps out when there are 2 charges on the warding totem, as you should. And this is the kind of aggressive vision line that you want to have as a Chinese team, because so aggressive, you are forcing fights, and as soon as anyone steps out of position, you turn on the pain. And look at that. Ning's like, all right, I'm going to take my Raptors. And, well, LNG are having none of that as they do look for a flank. The Shy is sitting there.
Oh
What?
no,
What?
the Shy
What
got
is he
caught
doing?
up,
What?
and look at Plex's damage. He doesn't care if he takes down the Shy. He wants the clone as well. 2 for nothing on LNG as they trottle through for control on the Baron Nashor. Plex hops over the wall, knocks up Ning, but he immediately disengages.
Was the Shy just looking at another screen, like looking at the clumped up members of IG, thinking there can't possibly be an Alistair flanking behind me, or what? Because he stood still long enough for Dwan to come through on the flank. Now Dwan running interference in tandem with Flandre, making sure Ning gets nowhere near this Baron pit.
Flandre in the backline, like you said, zoning out everyone. Rookie's coming
Rookie's
in.
here.
The smiter is way, way, way far from that Baron. And so it's secured by Asura. The calling coming in.
Here comes the Shy.
With Lucas. Goes in with the final chapter, but that's just absolutely no damage in the front line of LNG. Plex might have been caught off. The World Ender's at a cooldown. They dashes over the wall. Gets knocked up by the depth charge as IG are trotting over LNG's jungle. They just want to reset for now.
Yeah, LNG more than happy to take that reset. They got the Baron, they got a couple of kills beforehand, and more importantly, they forced both teleports from the solo laners of IG, severely limiting Invictus Gaming's options for the next couple of minutes.
Tier 2 tower collapsing in favor of IG. This is good news for the Invictus Gaming squad, who are 9,000 gold behind. But they're taking all that they can get. LNG now ramping over the mid lane. The inhibitor is in front of them. They should probably invest in the side lanes, but they want a team fight.
Insane, dude. Like, actually, what is Invictus Gaming? Like, come on. So, LNG, at least now there's like 3 minutes of no Baron on the field for you to throw at. So, hopefully, if you're LNG, you cleanly close here. You just completely engage and take IG by surprise again. I love the Alistair for LNG because it allows them to dictate engages at their own pace. They can go for these crazy dives that we've come to associate with them. They can go for reinforcing their team identity as these, guys unafraid to take fights whenever, with SOFM just completely having no regard for anyone, diving forward, and Rookie trying for something.
Rookie wants Azura. He flashed in to get the dredge line. There's the final chapter, but he gets knocked back by Duwan. Duwan immediately goes in with the unbreakable will. He might get a 5-man knockup, but look at the World Ender on the sideline.
Flandre back, Flandre back.
Getting angry. Plex wants the kills, but Plex is running out of the duration. SFM in the backline, though, there's the Pop Blossom only finding Plex in the process. Everyone is still alive. The first ones to go down are the support and the mid laner. Rookie falls right behind him, but look at Plex. He's still alive. He's still kicking. He's still healing. And the Azura kill goes down. It's the ace coming through for LNG on a triple kill for Plex. The inhibitors in front of them. They have the wave. And it looks to me that LNG bring in the upset of the day by 2-0ing Invictus Gaming.
Jackie Love taking down Azura then looked almost beautiful for IG's comeback there, but it was not to be. You see Plex finding backline access, Plex finding every single member of Invictus Gaming, and that, as you said, will be the 2-0 upset for LNG.
Oh my lord, nobody on the desk would even think this is possible.
I did.
You're not in the desk. Quirky, he believed in BLG last game. I believed in BLG. That didn't really work out for either of us. But this time around, against all odds, LNG on a rampage on the summer split of the LPL. 2-0 against the current world champions. Oh my.
That must feel so good for LNG, just not only as a team, but as an organization. Snake always struggled in the past at some of these hurdles, but now this is about as beautiful a start to the season as you can possibly get. Not only did they upset the second place team last split in JD Gaming, but now they've also taken down the first place team and world champions. LNG look to be a dark horse for that world spot.
At what point can we still consider them a dark horse? They've already beaten 2 of the favorite teams this summer split. I mean, surely they still have RNG. They still have the likes of Rogue Warriors, even whatever teams you want to throw at them. But after this performance, they look so clean in the early and mid game. I mean, I fully believe that they're going to place the summer split.
Absolutely, and just stressing how much Plex brings to the team, but also Dwan coming in as this fearless support, making plays towards mid, roaming around and facilitating the rest of his team. These fearless dives with the Unbreakable Will, the Bard in game one, everything this guy seems, everything this guy does seems impactful, and that's such an important quality to have as both a playmaker and a support.
And that being said, though, we're going to pass it over to the analyst desk one last time tonight to break down this best of two series between the world champions and what could potentially be the contenders to that throne this summer split. So, TJ, please take it away.